Andrea, it's a huge weekend of racing coming up, one I'm sure you're looking forward to. You do ride in the Gold Cup, but the horse I wanted to ask you about was in race 4, Champion Instinct, who you managed to win on last time, and he showed a ready turn of foot to go and score.
Yeah, he did actually. We had a good draw the last day. We managed to get a good position just behind the pace, and when I pulled him out, he travelled good into it, and when I let him down, he put the race to bed quite nicely. And I didn't win by far, but I think first and the second were well clear for the third, so it did it quite nicely.
Talking of second, you rode him the time before and he ran second, so I guess there was always that anticipation and sort of excitement with the horse that he could go in next time.
Oh yeah, he was been very consistent. Although he was still a maiden here, he was running. His last 3 or 4 runs were all good runs. So it was always going to happen for him to pop at some stage. And like I said, he won quite nicely the last day. I think he handicapped him up £6, which is only fair, and he should be competitive again on Sunday.
Yeah, form took a timely boost. Happy Fat Cat behind him, obviously, has won in the week as well. You're drawn 8, out a little bit from last time. How does that sort of compromise things, if any?
We'll have to see, because it might. We're not sure about the pace of the race. It doesn't look like maybe a lot of pace in the race, so we'll have to see what. Speaking with David and see what he wants me to do, but he actually showed a bit of speed at the gate the last day, so hopefully we should be able to slide forward to get a good position, and like I said, probably him getting his head in front the last day would do his confidence a lot good.
Andrea, your traction continues at a pace here in Hong Kong. You've got to ride in the big one, Nimble Nimbus, of course, the horse you won on last time. Just a line on him. I mean, he's obviously got a bit to find with the leading couple, or the leading few, if you will, but he was a winner last time for Group 3 and deserves his place.
He definitely deserves his place. He's a horse that he's been pretty consistent all season. He was obviously a Group 3 winner the last day, and we're under no illusions that we're up against some of these horses. On ratings we've got a little bit to find, but he has improved. I actually saw him yesterday. He seems to come out of the race very well. I'm sure he's improved, which he needs to, and I can see him running the big race.
This is what you want to be a part of, isn't it, really, these big races? I mean, obviously all the hype, romantic Warrior Voyage bubble, but just to be a part of it is obviously, what every jockey wants here.
100%, riding these Group 1 races, and although these big races, it's what it's all about, and it's getting on these good horses, and like I said, we're up against it a little bit on Sunday, but he's never one horse race or 2 horse races, so a lot could happen.
Karis, Smart Fighter is a horse you're going to ride for the 3rd time this weekend. Went very close on him last time over course and distance.
Yes, Nick, he ran a good race last time. With the gate, we got the course 3 deep, no cover, and I thought it was a great run. He boxed on nicely all the way to a line, so this time with the gate will make a big difference.
Yeah, it certainly will. Obviously, the gate you mentioned, obviously being 3, so going from 11 to 3 certainly is a big plus.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big helpful. He hasn't been pretty lucky with the draw in his last few runs, so I think with that draw, it's just gonna give him a soft run. It's gonna save so much energy. He's knocking on the door. He's running well. He's fit and well, so looking forward to riding him again.
He's got some form around some okay sort of horses. Actually, there was a run when second off of 51 behind Noble Pursuit, and he beaten a neck. He runs off 50 here, so he does look very well placed.
Yeah, like I said, he just needs things to go his way a bit. Ricky have the horse in good shape, so yeah, it's gonna be a nice race for him.
Zach, big weekend of racing coming up, of course. You've got some choice rides, notably in the Group 1, but some of those rides on the undercard look good, and BEATO was a horse that you got the win on last time.
Yeah, he's sort of threatened to do that for a while, hasn't he? With his racing style, getting back. He's been quite unlucky a few times, but getting to the mile in a race where he got a little bit of cover and was able to get into a nice rhythm, we really started to see what he's made of, and hopefully he can go on with it now.
On what you would have seen, I know you've only ridden him over the mile, but he always looked like the type of horse that was crying out for this trip, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. You could see 12 months ago that he was going to be a horse that might have been better when he got over further, and it just took a while for Tony to get him into the right frame of mind or physical state to be able to do it. He took his time with him, but the first time we tried the mile, things didn't go right at Sha Tin. Obviously he tried it at the Valley, but Sha Tin, he just raced a bit fierce without cover in a slow run race, but the next time when he got cover, it all fell into place for him, and he did a good job.
You've tried him since as well. He ran home nicely in that try. He looks to be holding his form well.
Yeah, exactly. He was beaten for speed early, but he did what we wanted him to do, and he finished it off nicely, and he seems like he's a happy horse.
Hopefully he'll make the lightweight worth it.
Yeah, so I got to lose a couple of pounds.
Zach, Gorgeous Win is a horse who's progressing extremely well at the moment. Got another win on the board last time at the expense of 80 light years. He's certainly going the right way.
Yeah, well, the form around 80 light years is quite strong. He's a consistent performer and a good yardstick. And I thought we handled him quite comfortably last time. He just got into a nice rhythm. He's got a nice gait to be able to do the same thing again. Like you said, he's a progressive horse, and Danny's just taken his time with him. He hasn't been in a rush with him at all. He's allowed him just to develop and improve as we go through his prep. And I'm expecting him to run well again.
Yeah, he strikes me, Zach, as the type of horse that certainly, I say we, but you and the team haven't really got to the bottom of. I mean, last time out it was more or less a hands and heels job, and he had them comfortably hard.
Well, he can try and do a bit too much. He can be a bit strong, especially in the mornings, and in a couple of his races he's wanted to charge along. So spacing his runs and just giving him a little bit of time to relax between them and mentally try and get him to go the right way has been helpful so far, but it never gets easy when you start to get to the rating that he's on, having to carry weight against these types of horses, and then if he happens to go up into the next class, it's another challenge again. But he's a horse that I feel has got a little bit more there, and Danny's doing a good job with him.
I guess the counteract to that as well could be the good draw in 3, so that certainly does you a few favours.
It does, and he's got good gate speed, so he'll just put himself into the right spot and hopefully get the job done again.
Zach, you ride Voyage Bubble in the big one, the Gold Cup, of course, a race that you've had good success in down through the years. Looking forward to him now, I suppose. Obviously, it's a big clash and one that I'm sure you're going to make the most of. Yeah,
well, he's had one start at the track and distance for a nice win in the Derby, and he's still lightly raced. He's progressive. He's on the way up, and he's an exciting horse for the future here in Hong Kong. He gets his chance against our best mile and a quarter horse. They're both drawn a little bit awkwardly, so they're both going to need a little bit of luck. I haven't spoken to Ricky about how he'd like me to ride the horse yet, but it's a nice pick-up ride, and hopefully I can make the most of it.
Caris Aluminous is a nice ride for you on the Gold Cup undercard. 1 from 1 so far. That was a really taking performance on debut.
Yeah, Nick, he's actually a lovely little horse. I thought his first win was a nice win. He did it nicely. Took a narrow gap in a straight, but he was very brave.
It looked, Karis, watching it back, that once he came off the bridle sort of earlier than some, but you sort of had to make his mind up for him. But once he got into top gear, he obviously found a good turn of foot to win.
Yeah, into the home straight, when as soon as I put pressure on him, he actually started to get on the bridle pretty quickly, and I ran out of room, so I had to wait a little bit. And there was a tiny little gap where I actually forced him through that. And like I said, he was very brave to sort of go through. And if I'm not mistaken, he got a smack from James because we were so tight, and it did not bother him. He went through with it. So he's a tough little horse, and I think there's a lot of improvement to come.
You say he's a tough little horse. There isn't much of him, so I guess going through the gaps makes life a bit easier. He's going up in trip as well now, 12 to 14. He was a mile winner in Australia, so this should suit, shouldn't it?
Yeah, of course. He's in the target to go for the Derby, so Frankie's gonna have to try pick up the distance a bit, and so he's gonna have to try the 1400. I think from that draw, it's gonna be okay because he's gonna give himself a chance. And like I said, if he shows the same turn of foot as last time, and if he can switch off, he'll be a big runner again.
And did you always expect that? I mean, you did trial him before his debut win. Would he have shown all the right signs to you as a rider?
Yeah, his last trial I did on him on the all-weather track, he gave me a really good feel. All his trial, he gave me a good feel, but in his last trial, he showed me that he's got a nice turn of foot. So yeah, he gave me a good feel, and let's just hope he keep progressing.